I'm Kathy Babbitt, and if you missed the last video, we were making bread. So while we're waiting for the bread to rise, because it takes a while we're waiting for it to rise, I'm going to make the chocolate chip cookies. And this dough mix right here is straight out of the bag. This is the chocolate chip cookies that I sell. The mix is $6. You can email me directly, kathybabbitt@thebabbitts.net. You can log on to the website, which is www.thebabbitts.net. That's THEBABBITTS.net. There, you can get the same website has two different domains. The other one is lovinglivingglutenfree.com. That's the name of the book, lovinglivingglutenfree.com. So, like I said, this is the mix right here. So we've got everything you need: white rice flour, brown rice flour, potato starch, sorghum flour, tapioca, baking soda, salt, xanthan gum is all in here. So what we're going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to whip my butter and my sugar. So this is 2 sticks of softened butter. Now what does that mean? Softened butter simply means that if you press your thumb into it or your fingers into it, you can indent. It does not mean melted. It doesn't mean your fingers go all the way through. You can just indent into the butter. So you want it softened. You don't want it melted. So we got that. Then I've got 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I got 3/4 of a cup of white sugar going in here. And then I'm going to turn this on. And I want it to be light and fluffy. Happens sometimes. You start out slow, and then you just turn it up. Until it's beating. So while we're doing that, I am going to whisk my flour. Now you really want to do that when you're doing, even with regular baking really, but especially with gluten-free baking, you're going to want to whisk your flour to make sure everything is evenly distributed. So we're getting there. We're not light and fluffy, but we are getting there. It's kind of making a going. What we're doing is just kind of, it's more like you're coating the sugar with the butter. And you're also incorporating some air in there. Okay, so we got where we want to be. Now, I'm going to add the egg. I'm going to add them one at a time, and I'm going to break them into a separate dish. And the reason why I do that is, if you get a piece of eggshell in there, you get a bad egg, you get a bloody egg. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. You can, you haven't dumped a bloody egg, contaminated egg, but you haven't dumped it in your batter and have to start over again. This way, I don't have to do that. So I'm going to whip that in. Always, always, always turn off your mixer to scrape down the sides and to scrape down your beaters. Do not try to scrape the sides, or even I've seen people where they just hold it like this, trying to clean the tops off, let it run in. Don't do that. Do not do that. Bad things can happen. Really bad things can happen. Don't do that. That buzzer right there is just simply telling me that my oven is now to 350 degrees that I set it on. I'm going to turn this back on. Make sure those eggs are incorporated in there really well. This recipe calls for a teaspoon of vanilla. I pour it over something so that if it splashes, spills, overflows, whatever, it's not doing that in the mix. So we're going to turn that down, and we're going to add our teaspoon of vanilla. Let that mix in. And then I'm going to start adding my flour mixture. And again, this flour mixture, you can get this, you can contact me to get this. And this is what it is. So for this, it's really easy because all you do is add butter, your sugar, your eggs, which you can't use butter. What I use instead of butter is earth balanced, soy-free spread. So if you have to be gluten-free and dairy-free, margarine, whatever you're using, you could use coconut oil if you wanted. Just don't, room temperature, you don't want it melted. So we're going to get our flour mixture in there. Whatever margarine you're using that's dairy-free and gluten-free, that's going to be fine. I use butter. I'm a fan of butter. But if you can't use butter, then, again, my go-to is Earth Balanced Soy-Free Spread. And no, they don't pay me for saying that. Nobody pays me for saying anything. That's just what I have found. And there's probably some out there that people like better. But that's just what I have found to be the most equivalent to butter in cooking. And it's also soy-free. And some of my clients need to be soy-free. So I'm going to put this back on here. Let this mix up really nice. With gluten-free baking, you cannot over-mix your flour. Can you incorporate too much air? Yes. But if the doorbell rings and I have to go answer the door, I get a phone call, something happens, I get distracted in some way, and I come back 5 minutes later and this mixer's still going, it's not going to have over-mixed the cookies. When working with gluten-free flours is actually easier than working with gluten flour. In that if you are making chocolate chip cookies, you do all the same things, and then when you put the flour in, you mix just until incorporated. Well, the reason why you're mixing it only until incorporated is because of the gluten. As the gluten, it gets activated by moisture, and then when you're mixing it, that's where it develops those gluten strands. So that's why when you make bread, if you're making it on the mixer with the paddle, you mix it for so long, and then sometimes, Grandma used to knead the bread to make the rolls. Well, all of that was developing that gluten. There's no gluten in here, so there's nothing to develop. There's nothing to overdevelop. Like I said, you can incorporate too much air, certainly, but can you overmix it and get tough cookies? Which is what would happen if I got distracted, had to answer the door, and I left this running for 5 minutes. They're not going to be cookies. They would be gross. Where with the gluten-free, there's no gluten, so there's no over-mixing. There's no over-developing of those gluten strands. Let me clean my batter off. My beater. All right. Let's try to get it all. You can't get it all, but let's try. Alright, so now we're going to add our chocolate chips. I got 10 ounces of chocolate chips there. So I'm going to add chocolate chips. Now, if you are dairy-free, that's okay. There's some good dairy-free chocolate chips out there. Enjoy Life has good ones, for instance. Just get dairy-free, gluten-free chocolate chips. So I'm just going to mix these in. I'm mixing these in by hand. I don't want the batter breaking them down. And you can use mini chocolate chips, you can use full-size chocolate chips, you can use white chocolate chips, you can use a combination. You could use peanut butter and chocolate chips. You can do whatever your heart desires. That's the cool thing about making things for yourself is it don't have to be chocolate chips. They can be something else. If you're making it for your child and their favorite thing is butterscotch. Well, there's butterscotch chips out there. Just make sure that they are gluten-free, and of course, if you have to be dairy-free, soy-free, just always be checking your ingredients. It's not uncommon for a person to have a problem with one food to have a problem with multiple foods. So my dog is banned from the kitchen. She is blocked out. Usually she tries to photobomb me. So I've got her blocked out of the kitchen, so now she's talking to us. Such a sweet girl. Anyways, that's enough, Amber. So, we got all that mixed in. Now we're just going to pan them. And this is going to depend, you're making them, how big you want them. So, if you want monster cookies, make monster cookies. If you want smaller cookies, make smaller cookies. It's up to you how big you want to make them. again, that's the cool thing about doing it for yourself. If you want to make little bite-sized cookies, you make little bite-sized cookies. These will spread out, so you do need to have them spread a couple of inches on the pan from each other because they will spread out. Chocolate chip in there. Okay, so I'm going to finish panning out these cookies, and then we'll take a look and see what we got at the end. Thanks. And again, you can get the mix by contacting me, www.thebabbitts.net, or Kathy Babbitt, KATHYBABBITT, at thebabbitts.net. That's THEBABBITTS. Okay.